Hey people, Intro here, 53 SD Province, blue team. Kaiser is a Warboss, a melee hero, walking through objects, very strong offense, disruption and support from the front lines, alongside Big Mathis with a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support. And rounding off this team is Akolit with a Warp Spider Exarch, teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default, great for capping and harassing, some powerful control. Red team, Force Commander, it's just a bunch of ellipses going on. I think also known as Paladin Squad. I think Ultramarines DLC here, alongside his Beaster with an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat by default. Begins with a heal, a passive health regeneration aura, some good old Blood Ravens. And rounding off the teams is DeleD with a Brother Captain, a durable hero walking through objects, cannot be suppressed, with powerful offense and support fighting in melee. They're on the east side against that Warp Spider Exarch. West side is Force Commander versus Warboss, which is a fun matchup. Double sluggers into shooters. Good battle cry there. Kaiser would do well to try and keep those sluggers separate for those battle cries. Oh, the tactical marines have just fled. That's weird. Could have taken the garrison. Maybe they're afraid of the burners getting the garrison, but they could have backed off, I think. Maybe stayed in play. Perhaps the Warboss was already in melee with them. I didn't quite catch that. East side then. Strike Squad are in a bit of trouble. Banshees on them. They drop a model. Just exploded from the dual death spinners of the Warp Spider Exarch. And Banshees giving chase with those power weapons. Beaster calling for care. Maybe someone's being flanked. Yeah, because of these Hormagaunts milling around their power here. Not sure if it was noded and they bashed it. But we got shotgun scouts in play for ellipses. Into some more tactical marines. They get in their elite training too. Warrior Brood for Big Mathis. Akolit with a Guardian weapon team. Is that the boss pole? It is. So you know he's the boss. Also has a enhanced custom shooter now for shoot 'em good. Okay, the battle cry usage is going to be vital here, I feel like. Although they do have that shotgun blast as well. Excellent battle cry. They just ran in on the Force Commander there. Trying to shoot him good. Didn't seem to stun him though, eh? That was kind of weird. Yeah, the sluggers got absolutely wrecked. Warboss now getting wrecked. Wasn't happy. All being buffed up by the battle cry. Force Commander almost falls over from these shooter boys doing their thing. But he gets away. Meanwhile, Brother Captain's decapped a wreck point. Runs away from the Shuriken cannon. Can't be suppressed, but will take a lot of damage if he gets close. Tomes of Titan for the Strike Squad. Pain Boy on the way for Kaiser to support those sluggers. Needs to be a bit more nuanced with his approach play, which isn't really an Orc strong point, but can't just go running both the sluggers into a Force Commander to get battle cried. Hormagaunts flee. This Warrior Brood will provide a basic synapse, so some defensive bonuses to nearby non-synapse creatures, not to heroes though. But those double Hormagaunts will benefit. Oh, we got another Warrior Brood with a Barbed Strangler. DeleD with triple Stormtroopers and that Strike Squad. Here come the Banshees. Scouts helping out with a grenade. Uh-oh, some friendly fire though, I think. Don't have any shotguns. Banishment goes in. Now the Warrior Broods show up. Not sure where the... Oh, Lictor's in there too. That's where he is. Big 2v2 fighters could get very messy if these Strike Squad fillers get caught in retreat. Oh, that's going to be bad. Instantly they started retreating when I said that. That's double Adrenal Gland Hormagaunt Broods and a Warrior Brood in retreat path and a Lictor Alpha. Looks like they made it out. With a single model, they made it out. Tactical Marines trying to use Kraken Bolts on the Heavy Infantry Warrior Broods. But they in turn are persuaded to leave. Good push by the blue team. Nicely done by Big Mathis to swing over and rotate onto this east side. Down goes the Brother Captain. Should be revived from there though. Beaster could throw out a heal to revive him, but wouldn't get the XP from it. It's worth waiting just for a normal revive, I think. Hormagaunts on the power alongside a Warrior Brood. Nope, they're turning to engage now. Scouts in trouble. Flesh hook the Sergeant and down they go. Wipes the entire squad. The Sergeant is a die last hero. Die last squad leader, I should say. So if you can focus him down and isolate him and knock him over, you can wipe the entire squad. As you saw there, Lictor Alpha's pretty damn good at that with his flesh hook. Even though the flesh hook's been nerfed several times over the years. Must be the most nerfed thing in Elite mod. And still a pain in the arse, as you can see. We got Purification Vials. Not sure what the Apothecary is up to there. I thought it was getting close to throw it, but he didn't throw it. Should have thrown it, I think. Maybe... Oh, didn't have the energy, perhaps. Oh, it might be a 45 throw. Oh, Resi, says Big Mathis. Oh, they're talking about the Warboss on the west side who's fallen down. Not sure if they got an armor upgrade or not. What about the Force Commander? Level 2, no war gear. Scouts fully upgraded here. No flamers on the tack, so they haven't pushed for power super aggressively or anything. Here comes Big Mathis to support that west side now. Tack's capping the mid. Got that faster capping trait, of course. 50% faster caps and decaps. So you can get really quick decaps with Tactical Marines. How good are triple Stormtroopers in Tier 1 at bashing power? You know what? Not that bad. 4 or 5 bursts, it seems, and they take down a power gen. Strat squad, meanwhile, decapping stuff. Here's the Shuriken. Should shut them down here. Dark Creepers up for Akolit before Big Mathis even starts their Tier 2. Are they floating? They must be. Yes, they are. West side, what's going on? Lictor Alpha gets the revive. Almost gets level 3 off it. And has feed the tendrils. Down goes the Warp Spider Exarch. Not sure what they were up to. Up to no good. Looking for decaps, perhaps. Comes a flood of Tyranids now. Barb Strangler does get one squad. Purification Vials is avoided, but they're going to run into it anyway. Didn't take the brunt of the impact, but still took a bunch of damage getting through that. Not sure Big Mathis had to be quite so aggressive there to push through the vials. Warboss back in play, of course. Gets a stomp. Battle crying Force Commander buffing double Marines and those scouts there. Lictor Alpha scything down the Apothecary. Good specials, gonna get him. There it is. Maybe they were being that aggressive because they were trying to revive the Warp Spider there. Couldn't quite get it. Force Commander is gonna revive the Apothecary though and gets a level off it. Level 3, and now has a Thunder Hammer. Could be bad news for those double sluggers. They do have a War Truck for support now. And the Pain Boy, of course, that can heal them over time. Here he is. Got a damage over time melee weapon as well. Some weird orky poison on it or something, I guess. Some kind of invasive fungus. Tax on capping duty. West side is being stacked now by the red team. All the Marines are here. Dreadnought on the way for Beaster. And a Devastator squad for Ellipses, the Force Commander. We've got a Grey Knight Dreadnought up too, with that Incinerator on it. And that pretty awesome looking melee weapon. Strat squad get their Justicar. Shuriken's waiting. Might need to be a Bright Lance to help fight the Dreadnought. We do have Aspect of Strength Banshees, so they get their heavy melee weapon. See her there with the spear at the front. The Exarch. The Dreadnought hasn't gone melee mode yet. Where is that brother captain? He's on the east side laying down. Here comes the Dreadnought. Will shrug off that Shuriken cannon fire. No threat to it whatsoever. And flames them down. Here's a webway. Quite an odd place to put it, actually. They'll just run into it by chance, I think. Usually they'll be a lot on the edges of the map kind of thing. Power bashing Stormtroopers. 390 to 374 kicking off in the mid. Lictor Alpha, level 3. Warrior Broods and Cormagaunts. That's some melee Synapse Warrior Brood now. Massive health bonuses to themselves and nearby non-Synapse melee creatures, such as the Cormagaunts. Also gives them some heavy melee, which is handy. But melee Dreadnought says no. Says go away for the Emperor. Close Combat Walker for Space Marines out the gate. You can give it some ranged weapons though. But seeing as they're up against melee Orks and melee Tyranids, probably going to stay like this unless it gets into a lot of trouble. He wants to get the assault cannon going. Kills 2 Warp Spiders there, and Thorax Swarm giving the Electroshock Grubs treatment. Warp Spiders here for Akolit, maybe called in from the global bar. Didn't see. Can they hit these Dreadnoughts quickly? There's a Haywire. Warrior Brood going in. It will have melee resistance with this loadout. Banshee's trying to fight the Grey Knight Dreadnought, but they're a bit too low. Right, Lance getting shots now. That's a dedicated anti-vehicle weapon doing huge damage to the Dreadnought there, but it gets away. West side is blue for the Orks. They're all hanging out. We got looters up with a death gun. Looks like the war truck has gone down. I don't see its remains anywhere, but it's easy to like destroy the remains of a vehicle. Any war gear for the Brother Captain? No war gear for the Brother Captain. Doesn't have a level either. We do have Stern Guard veterans for Beaster. Can change their ammo to combat all targets. Limited to 1. Tyrant Guard up for Big Mathis. Into a zone thrope, so he's not just skipping tier 2 here. As we saw Ellipses, the Force Commander, do. They're into tier 3 now. Why is this Force Commander debuffed? Oh, it's the Stalk Global for the Lictor Alpha, which reveals all the enemy heroes, I believe. And maybe debuffs them or something? It's a pretty nice global. We got Deadly Jump Up for the Lictor Alpha. I know it used to debuff the heroes or something, but they may have removed that. East side, taking a very wide berth, is DeleD. Going up to these raised areas, is he? What's he up to? Detour. Now he's got a hammer. Nemesis Demon Hammer in play for the Brother Captain. Had enough of these Banshees, I think. Dark Creeper's getting some shots in. Kicking off towards the west side, though. Big fight. Grenade for the looters. Sluggers eating vials. Getting Force Commander Thunderhammered as well, I think. Tyrant Guard taking some las cannon shots. Big Emperor's Fist from that Dreadnought. Gets Electro Shock Grub. There's a zone thrope to maybe get a focused Warp Blast as well. Tyrant Guard could try to fight it with some support, but looks like they are ignoring it for now and going after a bunch of Marines, which is a good shout, I think. They're being buffed by the Warboss as well. They're being boss poled. Even Tyranids are impressed by the boss pole. Is this Dreadnought going to get away? Is it too far away from support now? I don't see the zone thrope using the focused Warp Blast. Warrior Brood are trying to fight it. There's another Emperor's Fist. Okay, that was the focused Warp Blast, and now they're going to get it. Tyrant Guard comes in with some heavy melee and finishes it off. Grey Knight fella's still around. Bashing power, you know. It's all gone. Bright Lance getting shots now. Can they get their Haywire? Bright Lance needs to keep moving. Is not moving. Warp Spider could get Power Blades maybe. He's got the Shimmer Orb up. Back towards the mid. Scouts getting flesh hooked. It's the Sergeant. Goes down and Scouts white. Gotta be so careful when you have Scouts around the Lictor Alpha. Especially when he's a well-played one that can time things and get into good positions. Gotta be very, very careful. Never have the Scouts at the front of your army. Gotta be very, very careful with how you use your shotguns and stuff. Double plasma attacks there. They get suppressed though by the Barb Strangler. And then the Lictor Alpha jumps in, which is kind of terrifying. Force Commander doing some decent work. Gets onto the Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. Tyrant Guard is chilling out in shield wall mode. Tax in trouble here. Stern Guard switching to Kraken Bolts, which gives them extra damage versus heavy infantry and heroes, shooting down the Lictor Alpha with it, as you can see. The Tyrant Guard comes charging through and scares them off. And kills one. And kills two. How much XP does that fella have now? It's almost level 2, that Tyrant Guard. Blue team have some momentum here. East side is looking a bit safer as well for them, although red team still have this contested power point. Tyrant Guard might want to get back a bit. Might want to get back. Las Cannon is in play, and those double plasmas are bad news for that super heavy infantry armor that it has. Flash kits on the way for Kaiser. We do still have Scouts, and they still have a Sergeant, so they need to be careful now of that Lictor Alpha. The Brother Captain with Unending Purge, now getting the Holy Armor of Titan. Not sure what this effect is on him right here. That's weird. Isn't that the base aura? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. It's not Mind Blades. Well, But he's got it, whatever it is. Is that just Unending Purge? Is that an effect from Unending Purge that I've never noticed before? I don't think so. Apothecary revives the Force Commander. There is Angels of Death, but they have to retreat anyway. Probably not a great time to use it. Shoot him good on the Force Commander to stun him. Gets him in big trouble. Warrior Brood in retreat path. Can they kill him? He's getting very close. Does get away. Purification Vials thrown in. Apothecary's got a Sanguine Chainsword as well. Maybe the axe would be better here to go in on the warriors and get those Synapse Backlashes with that power weapon. But Sanguine Chainsword is pretty damn good too. Helps him maintain his own health without healing himself. Using his heal, I mean. Oh, the Zoanthrope died at some point. Big Mathis is getting another one. Flash kits are up. Already have their blasters. Very good against heavy infantry. Those tacks are not going to like it, and those Devastators won't either. DeleD. I'm not sure what happened to their strike squad. The Banshees are also dead. Oh, there's a bunch of strike squad dead here. Orbital. Thrown in by, I'm not sure actually. Beasta and DeleD both have around the same red. Lictor Alpha got killed at least. Hellfire rounds loaded in on those Stern Guard. Damage over time against light infantry and heroes, such as those Hormagaunts, but they need to switch to Vengeance rounds to shoot the Tyrant Guard. They got their Kraken bolts up, but that's for the warriors. 388 to 116. Fire Prism doesn't need to get that. Doesn't want to let that Dreadnought get close. Got hit. The brother captain still has this aura on him. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Looks like a bugged base aura. Assault Terminator is in play from the Force Commander. Unique to him. Got their Thunderhams and Storm Shields, and that could turn this game around quite substantially. Especially if these guys get their claws up. They're not going after the Tyrant Guard, apparently. Guys? No? No, they're not interested. They're going west. They want that VP, I suppose. Apothecary might need to run. Throw your vials first, maybe? Maybe it's on cooldown. Otherwise, he might just die. He's got combat stims and also dies. Okay. What is this? Oh, the Dreadnought's trying to escape. Right Lance on the prowl. Oh, they got the Fire Prism. What the hell happened? There it is. I guess the Dreadnought chased it in there in melee. Oh, we got the Multi-Melter up. That's what chased it in there. Haywire Grenade goes off. Bright Lance lying in wait. Here comes some support. Dreadnought not going to move. Doesn't want to get shot by it. But there's a bunch of Tyranids on retreat path as well. I say retreat path. The Dreadnought can't retreat, but needs to try and get away. And now the Stormtroopers are in massive amounts of trouble. I think they're both going to wipe here. DeleD might lose his entire army, in fact. I'm not sure if this Dreadnought's going to make it out. He's trying to stay hidden. What's going on west side, by the way? We do have Lightning Claw Terminators supported by a Land Raider Redeemer. And Beasta has a tank. DeleD did indeed lose that Dreadnought, unsurprisingly. Here's the tank. Got the extra armor. Did it kill some sluggers there? Well, they're gone. I'm coming to you, I'll res us, says Big Mathis. They're all rezzed. I guess they repurchased and wasn't listening or something. Tyrant Guard has done really well. Hitting that brother captain. Still has that aura. Gets a big old demolishing strike. And runs away. Puts up the Immortal. 356 to 66. Big VP lead for the blue team. DeleD now has Paladins on the field, supported by that Land Raider. Got Lightning Claw Terminators and Paladins. Blasters doing their thing though. They can just tear apart those Marines if they blob up like that. Big Mathis, Lictor Alpha level 4, no accessory war gear yet. Looted tank on the way now for Kaiser. Predator tank in trouble, got a bit too far forward here. Tyrant Guard always struggling to get a hit though. And here come Lightning Claw Terminators. And they are really bad news for that Tyrant Guard. Paladins as well giving chase. Oh, they tried to get the zone throat. They have an incinerator. I don't think the Tyrant Guard is going to make it out. They can't suppress those fellas. Still kicking off on the west side. Those guys retreating back to the land raider. They did indeed get the Tyrant Guard over there. Shooting good for the Apothecary. Fire Prism goes down, gets las cannoned. Right Lance trying to set up, but can't get shots on the land raider from there. It's a very strange place to set up, actually. Very easy to flank. What's next for DeleD? Not sure. Maybe the Terminator Librarian, actually. Helps save stuff if it gets isolated with the Sanctuary and stuff. Grenade on a rear armor hit there. It's alright. Oh, crack shot for the Bright Lance. And there's a Haywire. But now, Terminators want to say hello. So does the Force Commander, and they have to run. Nice idea, but I think you need to save those globals for when you have a better chance of getting things killed. You know, a bit more support. Maybe get the Land Raider a bit lower. But Kaiser's lost a lot. Akolit down to 3 units as well. It's not going to be a landslide victory for the blue team. Red team is still in this, very much so. Paladin's being chased though. Brother Captain trying to do some work, level 4. Paladin's able to retreat away, which might be far enough. They're giving chase though. Anything that can help them. They'll be in base turret range soon, that'll help them. I don't think they have enough DPS to kill them before that. They refuse to get suppressed, apparently. There we go. There's the suppression. And they can't get another model. Back down here. Those guys bashing power a bit. Apothecary levels to 6 and runs away. Another kind of odd webway placement by Akolit. Has one over here, so slightly better placement there. This power bashed? It is. Maybe they bashed it, Akolit. They have a D cannon. Not sure what it's... Oh, is it using the webway to try and get over here? Or they took the webway out. Not sure where that D cannon's going, actually. You'd expect to see it on the west side where their contested VP is. Zone Throat gets taken out. Completely forgotten by Big Mathis, or was just throwing it away for pop, but you don't usually see that on a Zone Throat. Land Raider gets a bunch of repairs. We now have Terminators for DeleD. He's just going for super heavy infantry now. Doesn't want any of this puny heavy infantry. Level 5 Lictor Alpha Swarm Lord on the field for Big Mathis. Can they stop that thing? Stern Guard veterans get their Hellfire loaded in, but there is a singularity. Doesn't go off because of the Bright Lance, because of the D cannon having to retreat. But that would have been really nasty. 233 to 66. Swarm Lord running in. Lightning Claw fellas aren't that great against this guy because he has vehicle armor. Provides a speed and reinforcement synapse. And pretty powerful in melee combat. Takes down the Apothecary there. 223 to 66. Everything flees from the Swarm Lord. Brother Captain not repurchasing his power, it seems. Warp Spider taken out there. Paladins will hurt the Swarm Lord. Not sure if they can just take him on. They might be able to. They have way more hit points, but of course they'll be dropping models which drops their DPS. Swarm Lord can also use Leech Essence to get health back. And he can just run into base, not really threatened by the base turrets. Facilitating the cap here for Big Mathis. Doesn't look like he's going to chase in though. Got some Terminators in for Beaster. Carnifex now for Big Mathis. Could be a big fight in the mid, and this could be messy with flanks and stuff. Got a decap, did Big Mathis now trying to back off a little bit. D-cannon's getting shot. That's a big lump of nuke bait back there. There's a Rocks. Boom shot into the Rocks by Kaiser. Nicely done. A D-cannon throws them in to the Singularity though. And they pop Angels of Death. Does Beaster. There's Holy Grounds to the right of your screen. boosting speed and slowing speed for your enemies, boosting speed for your allies. That's the Paladin's ability. And Cantic of Absolution goes in, granting health and energy regeneration for a really long time too to allies around it. But they couldn't stay in. 180 to 66. I don't think I've seen Mind Blades being used, but maybe it has. Single cap now for red team. Blue team, I'm not sure what blue team lost their natural to, but it's uncapped right now. Avatar of Cain on the way for Akolit. Terminus is trying to get the cap. Double tank shooting them down. Take out another model. They couldn't get the cap. Down to 2. I thought they lost 2. Only lost 1. Lictor Alpha now putting pressure on again with that Swarm Lord. What level are those warriors? Level 4 warriors. 26, 34 hit points on those guys. Not bad at all. Demolishing Strike and the Immortal ability. Level 5 Brother Captain. He's done alright. Just hasn't preserved his army super well. Uh-oh. Stranglethorn Cannon time. Las Cannon does not shoot at the Carnifex for some reason. Guess maybe it wasn't in range when it started winding up. There's the Shimmer Orb. Scouts being a nuisance. Tyranno formation from Big Mathis. Everything jumps inside the land, ready to avoid it. They're going for it here. Warrior Brood are not, though. Is that a Haywire? No, that was Electroshock Grubs. 128 to 66. It's still a single cap for the red team. No, there's the 1-to-1. Land Raider is going to go down here. Triple looted tanks for Kaiser. Been pretty damn effective, but here come Paladins. Getting on it with those heavy melee Nemesis Demon Hammers. Making very short work of that tank. Had some Terminator support as well. Oh, there's another one. They still have 3 looted tanks. I guess they had 4 before. Oh hey, that boy's hut being pulled in. Got to see some Gretchens. 127 to 60. Wailing Doom with a decent hit there. Loyalist Terminators for Beaster on capping duty. Gonna take a lot of fire doing it though. But there's Da Boy's hut providing some buffs. These are unupgraded Gretchens. Might want to get repair crew for those guys. They've got a lot of vehicles to look after. Swarm Lord has been awesome. Immortal's not going to last long, Mr. Brother Captain. Well, then what are you going to do? Going to run. Going to flee. Level 6. Triple cap for the red team. Looted tanks can't cap, I guess. Big Mathis says to cap. Warboss is going for this one. Who was this? It was an Apothecary slaying stuff here. Level 7. I don't think you can handle this though, Mr. Apothecary. There's the Flesh Hook. And they're going to mob him. Knock him around. Warrior Brood go for the cap. Is he fighting? What is he doing? No, he's dying. He's super dying. Carnifex got a sync kill in melee there. Shimmer Orb Warp Spider going for the cap. Now it's a no cap gain, 61-56. Here comes Purgation for DeleD. Another Fire Prism up for Akolit. That could help stop caps on the west side maybe. Or just straight through the mid and help stop caps on their natural. Not sure what these Terminators are doing here. Probably should have stayed on the west side, fellas. Down they go. DeleD with double Purgation. Wants to get some conversion beamers, I guess. Yep, there's one. Oh, they're saying GG. Red team have run out of steam, I think. And blue team have it with a 2-to-1 cap. Probably. Red team have to do a hell of a push here to get back into this. But the captain being a nuisance. Seems like Kaiser wanted to quit at some point. I missed that. is going to be a victory for the blue team, I think. Unless, down to 8 VPs. Well, they've stopped it at 1-1. There's Cantal of Absolution. Maybe should have used that a bit earlier. It's quite expensive. I think it's like 175 red or something. It's really nice in a big team fight, though. Swarmlord messing up those paladins. Warboss taking back the VP. They dekept their natural. Some very sneaky scouts from Beaster. And very useful friendly fire from the Fire Prism. So it's still just firing on... It's just firing... It's just shooting ground so they can't cap. Oh, there we go. They had the single. There was an Eldritch Storm at the end there. And all sorts of stuff. Leech Essence from the Swarmlord. Let's look at these heroes. End of the game. Level 3 Warboss. Did have heavy armor at the end. Up close to 2,000 hit points. Level 3. Lictor Alpha was level 8. Got the Corrosive Claws by the end. Level 5 Warp Spider Exarch. Lots of tricky stuff. And did some good decaps over here. Looks like D-Cannon's trying to do some capping. Had a level 8 Force Commander. Had Teleporter back at the end. Artificer. Level 7 Apothecary. Went aggro with the Sanguine Chainsword. Had a good time, I think, in melee. And a level 7 Brother Captain. Finished kind of strong with the Paladins and Terminators. Well, the Paladins didn't finish, but... yeah, struggled to keep his army alive before that. Lost the Dreadnought and all those Stormtroopers in that big flank that happened around here. And, I guess recovered okay. But maybe these Purgation should have made an appearance sooner. I think they were busy reinforcing their super heavy Terminator variant fellas. But there you have it, guys. It was close. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see ya next time.